Hey guys, welcome back. It's Bill. I am taking a Sunday afternoon to relax, not worry so much about geopolitical issues, and pretty much not worry about anything right now. I'm just out here having a beer, a Philippine beer. If you guys don't know, it's pretty much San Mig Tilson. It's about the best beer I can find out here that's domestically made. You know, I'm sitting here contemplating, and maybe I can give you a quick peek here of where I'm sitting out here out on the water. Nice Sunday afternoon, a little bit of breeze, and I'm trying to come up with an understanding of just when the American dream died for me. You know, living out here, I realized that there's so much more to life than geopolitical issues, right wing and left wing and middle wings and everything else in between, and conflict with the wars and the weather and climate and moon landings and oil ships sinking in the Red Sea. And I have to sit back and go, some of that's really just not my concern anymore. And a lot of it has to do with living out here in the Philippines, and I've been out here a long time, 10 years plus. And days like today, when I don't want to overstress and worry about the future, I can just sit back and enjoy the things I do have out here and reflect a little bit. I talk to a lot of people, and I don't care, you can comment down below. Everybody's being affected by inflation, politics, and just strife in general. And the stress level that folks have in the U.S. that I certainly had drives bad decision making. You're doing things for the wrong reasons, right? Now, we're never going to fight the elite. We're never going to survive the greed, the power, the control that they want to put on everyone. And that's regardless of what country you live in. But out here, living debt-free, because it's affordable to do that, living nice, having the new things, having everything I had in the U.S. pretty much. I don't have the big Harley, but that's fine. But what I do have is a lot less stress, and I have the ability to slow down. I set my own agendas, I set my own time, I set my own pace. Excuse me. And the American dream for me was chasing all the things. I had the new house, I had the boat, I had the bike, I had the convertible. I had the things, the latest sound system, the newest gadgets, and wasn't really happy, but I could sure show off my things. And half the things were paid for, and half the things I paid crazy interest on just to have. And then once you get debt-free like I am now, it's an interesting feeling, because you don't want to add debt for any reason, right? So you work so hard and you struggle so much to not have debt, which is the American dream, being prosperous, having all the things you need and some of the things you want, and not being overburdened by that. I don't know of anybody, except a few exceptions in the U.S., that are debt-free, right? And that have what they want, and that they live a stress-free and peaceful life. I'm fortunate that I have that out here. I mean, we get, your typical issues out here, being married, family and things like that, but that's nothing. I don't wake up and stress over things. I don't have huge issues about surviving. Obviously I'm a prepper, I got that covered. And what I wanted to do is just come out today and relax, but I figured I'd bring out the camera and maybe talk about some of the things that have been on my mind. But then as I started thinking about what I wanted to talk about, I didn't really want to talk about any of the political stuff and world conflict stuff and climate change stuff. And I didn't want to, honestly, I didn't want to down my happy mood, right? I'm in a good mood today, just chilling and relaxing. And I'm sure I could find that mood somewhere in the Philippines. I could probably go in the mountains of Sierra and sit back by a lake and fish trout, and back in Montana, on the Yellowstone up there and do some relaxing. I mean, the Philippines isn't unique about having nice, calm, cool, relaxing places. But I do enjoy a nice, breezy, sunny day, no smog, no noise. This is actually a pretty popular restaurant, so the any noise you hear would be from them, but I could walk a quarter mile any direction on this lake and just sit up and just feel like I'm the only person in the world. And that's kind of a nice feeling sometimes. So that is what I get when I live out in the province. A lot of people talk about moving to the Philippines and they think about Cebu, Dumaguete, Manila, Angel City, Mindanao, places like that. And all those places don't appeal to me, I'll be honest. I love the Philippines. This is my home. I immigrated here basically. And the province life is where everyone should strive to live. Now, honestly, I understand and get that most people just don't have the financial freedom, and I'm talking Filipinos, to live out in the province a nice life. They have to go to these bigger cities to earn money. Not everyone's a digital nomad. Not everyone can get what they want while still staying away from the big cities. I get that. I do. But then not everyone's 55, right? I put my time in. I made my plans, and I made it so I can enjoy just this. I'm having a great outlook on the later half of my life out here, being debt-free, having all the things I want, everything I need, and then living in a place that's secure, safe, and off the beaten path, right? So I'm not so greatly affected by a lot of the world politics out here. It's interesting because I'm from California, and California is so diverse. I had Chinese neighbors on one side, Filipino, African American. I mean, it's such a diverse culture. But out here, I'm literally the only foreigner in this town, and everyone else is 100% Filipino, which is interesting at times. I mean, I definitely immersed myself into the Philippines, but I don't think I'd have it any other way. I don't think I would have as much stress-free life if I was in one of the tourist towns with a lot of foreigners, because I think they just bring all that drama and stress with them. They're here on vacation. They're here to have the best time that they can and not necessarily care, right? So living out here as long as I have, I realize that I don't miss the interaction so much with foreigners, right? So no, I'm online. I talk to people all the time about issues and about things that are going on. And I get my Western conversation in with people that can talk about geopolitical issues and understand what's going on globally, not just locally. That is one thing that I'll tell you honestly, living in the Philippines, the one thing that really frustrates me the most is 95% of all Filipinos and Filipinas really don't care about what's going on outside of their close local bubble. They just really don't care. They'll care about some TikTok made by some boy band in Korea, but they'll have no idea about what's going on with Kim Jong-un and his daughter and the missile test and how that relates to firing rockets over Japan. You cannot have that kind of conversation out here with the typical Filipino. First of all, they don't care. Second of all, they just don't understand it. Now, and I think part of that not caring about global issues and global conflicts actually makes them a lot less vulnerable to stress, right? And as a prepper and as a guy that's well connected and very update on current issues, it's interesting because I see all these things going on, and I'm drawing the lines and connecting the dots, and I don't see a bright future for a lot of people between wars in whatever region you live in, and between economics and things of that nature. I just see it getting worse year after year. But I don't think anybody out here would really change. I mean, the biggest thing that would disrupt a Filipino out here is if you cut off the internet and there was no internet. other than that, most Filipinos, they live um, pretty thrifty day to day. And, if there's a war in Ukraine, most of them don't know about it. They don't understand it if they even heard the name Ukraine in the news. So they don't let that stress bother them. They don't let the stress of anything other than, I guess, inflation, right? Food costs out here and fuel costs out here, they stress about. And it's a pretty typical issue for most Filipinos because keep in mind that they're living out here hand to mouth already, especially out here in the province where there's not a lot of work. And the work that's out here is not necessarily high paying work. So, getting the rice on the table every day is an issue, right? Keeping the lights on and things of that nature. That is all they really worry about. And when they get that covered, if they have their shelter, their food, and their fuel, and they have their basic needs covered, I believe the Filipinos can really just not give a shit about the rest of the world. I think there's positives to that because they don't bring all that stress into their daily lives. And I try to emulate that sometimes, but obviously I can't. But like today I'm just out here sitting, enjoying the beautiful weather out here on the lake, having a beer, and then I'll show you. Typically when I drink beer out here, I'll have what's called barbecue. And this is just pork marinated barbecue. I'll eat several of those. And then I have what's called dynamite. Now the dynamites go good with beer because basically it's jalapeno stuffed with some minced meat, sometimes cheese. It depends on who's cooking it. And they deep fry it. Sandali kuya. Okay lang sa yellow. Okay lang na. Salamat.
Lagyan po natin o mamaya na lang po.
No need lang. Meron dami din sa taas sa bagat. Uh-oh. Sorry about that, guys. The wait staff wanted to come by and make sure that I was doing good with ice. And I am. But good service out here sometimes. But anyways, I just wanted to drop a quick little hello. I'm going to go back to relaxing, enjoying my beer, enjoying the beautiful weather out here today, and try not to worry about anything that's not happening within 5 kilometers of me. That's my goal for this afternoon. And I hope you guys all have time to take an hour or two and do the same. And until next time, everyone, please stay safe. Thank you.